What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vontae the First, the day portion of Mugen Eclipse.
And it's me, Mr. Coffee. I mean, Mr. Twitchy, the night portion of Mugen Eclipse. Welcome back to Season 8, Episode 4 of My Hero Academia today.
That last episode, it got everybody and their mamas up off their feet, jumping in the air, just cheering on Bakugo. That was a Bakugo episode, obviously. Him wanting to repay All Might and him saving All Might after him beating himself up thinking that he was the one or the reason why All Might is not All Might no more. But it's not the case, obviously. Shout out to Ed Shot for keeping Bakugo alive as well.
Oof.
Shout out for Bakugo for being grateful. I actually really love that he even thanked him for that. That was really cool, especially for his character because he's always, an asshole to a lot of people. But I mean, you had to. You saved your fucking life. All for one stressing, talking shit, saying that he ain't formidable, he ain't on Endeavor's level, All Might's level, Dark Shadow's level, Deku's level, nobody's level. Shut your ass up. Get your ass killed, rewind again and again and again and again and again and again. But phenomenal episode.
Best one of the series. Say it with my chest out. Easily for both of us. I think we're in agreement on that, even after a week after having watched it. But yeah, we do know kind of what's going on in this episode, guys. So one of my remaining spoilers for the series, because I am anime only, is regards to this episode, what kind of happens. And then Vontae, of course, is a manga reader, so he has all of those reactions on his own personal channel. Make sure you check that out after this reaction. But one last final point I want to make on the previous episode is the inclusion of the leaves. Now, some of you may have noticed it, but you might not have paid much mind to it in terms of this was the collective will of the people of this planet that did not want All Might to die. You could even take it a step further and say maybe all of the exhales, all of the prayers, they cause some sort of butterfly-like effect on the world to where everyone exhaling caused the wind in addition to the storm that was cooked up by Todoroki and friends, and it caused Bakugo to just go a little bit faster and get there just before All Might died. Might be hopium, might be just, my head in the clouds, but
it was just that pure gear shift,
Yeah. It's just all boom, Deku.
Go.
Bakugo did nothing, actually. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I thought it was a great moment. Especially when I saw the leaves when I was watching it for like the 5th time. In that episode when Bakugo did save All Might, you saw the leaves going across the screen. So again, it just could be my own personal headcanon for that, but you know what? Screw it. It's my own headcanon. I can do what I want.
You can. And when you know what you guys can do as well, you guys can like the video, subscribe to your boys if you are new, help us get out to the algorithm, more My Hero, more anime, live action, manga, whole bunch of other stuff. But that being said, you take it away.
All right, guys. So without any further delay, let's get into Season 8, Episode 4 of My Hero Academia right about now.
Now, whatever you do, don't push this button.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I am Groot.
That's right.
I am Groot.
No! No, that's the button that will kill everyone!
This is the deepest I've ever heard his voice.
I'm about to say, the absolute deepest.
Their mother?
Mother for one.
Mother for two.
No, mother for one. Look at that.
Wait.
Look at that baby.
Were they twins? Or did All for One eat? Oh my god! That's the cold open.
He was eating.
I've got
I remember I read that. I was like,
goosebumps.
what am I reading? This is where I was like, okay, I finally start to get something that I wanted with All for One's character. I mean, obviously his origins, but like, he just needed an extra
layer.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am not ready for Inko crying.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not ready. Uh-oh. And enter discrimination.
I have powers.
I'm gonna be honest, I never thought we would get into this. It's a demon child.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Bro, ew.
Carriers? Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow. Collateral through the head. Damn, I didn't think they was gonna show it like that.
What
Wow,
the hell?
yeah, I know. This is crazy.
Oh my god,
Nobody
into
came
the
to help.
flesh? But like, it goes back to the nature versus nurture. Is that just in his nature to consume?
I think so, because even when they showed them developing in the womb, he was bigger than his brother. So he was just taking in all the nutrients. And that's why his brother was always frail. Yep. Like, why?
This is insanity, Vontae. I don't know what to say. And he drags him behind him?
Yep. Alright, Armin. Nah, goddamn. He showed him the He showed him the book. He showed Aaron the book. If he never showed him the comics, you know, like, he probably got killed off somewhere.
Oh, and that, like, naive type of love?
Bro, what?
Oh, you are terrifying.
You just know his ass about to die in this episode. This is all the backstory, like, here, yeah.
Wait, did he steal the quirk of the glowing baby?
Good question.
That answers that question. That's my quirk. Next panel.
You think you gonna take your quirk too?
Yeah, probably.
You can be like Hawks when he took Hawk's quirk, and it's like, damn, I can't even do next panel anymore. You just
I have nothing
you
left.
Can't do it ever
You guys will
again.
unsubscribe now. And what does this teach you guys? You need to read. You need to read.
Oh, yeah, this is crazy. Right?
That's a crazy shot too. Do you imagine being forcefully given a quirk?
Bro. And he just forcibly gave him a name. You hear him?
Oh!
He named him Yoichi right there.
My head is spinning. I didn't even think about that because the mother died.
That's how. Yeah. Like, it's cool but frustrating at the same time, where we're getting this for All For One, where it's like, imagine we felt like this about him, like,
Oh
early.
my goodness. I love the silhouette on the wall. It's kind of representative of him being the Demon King from the comics.
He said, you killed him. No, you killed him.
Are you so serious right now? He just killed him?
That's why when he killed the second user, when he was crying.
I remember him saying
told
that,
me.
but I
Yep.
just didn't think it would happen like this.
Oh, yeah.
No reflection. They often say eyes are the window into the soul. He has no soul at this point. I wonder if Yoichi even knew that he passed on that power to Kudo. He's holding his hand like Shigaraki. Bro, there's so many layers to this. I'm gonna have to watch this episode 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Probably getting a full scope of him.
Bruce.
The damn bar. He stole y'all whole shit. This is literally where the league be at. Yo, if anybody want to make some prequels from the previous One For All users, go ahead.
Give it
Look at
to
the
me
Fate series. They do prequels there.
expeditiously.
They do the prequels exactly the same like that there in Fate. You could do it like this here. To be honest, All For One will probably even grow even more as an antagonist for me. If we got something like that.
So it's not even about One For All. It's just about obtaining the object that he lost that was his younger brother. Holy, he got the worst of it! Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
We finally see it!
We finally, yep. Yep.
As much as
I've seen a
last
few people
episode
pick
was
up when he
the
said
peak
Kacha.
animation, this episode might be peak storytelling.
Like, this was very much needed. This also was like, okay, yeah, this is making the final arc come together really finally for me when I was reading it. Shit, that might be some energy shit too,
Oh
yo.
my goodness.
What you gonna do?
This is what I was afraid of. I've had my mouth open for the last 5 minutes, but this is him coming to the will that he needs to kill Bakugo.
Yeah, what is the Chainsaw Man?
The Eternity Demon instead of the Eternity Devil.
Horikoshi is insane.
Omni Factor Unleash?
It looked pretty good in anime too.
All for
Well,
one
man.
gold.
Oh, that's a even bigger EMP. Wow, look at that. Yeah, look, it's a fight between two characters who are you can never sway their ideology whatsoever. Bakugo always want to win. All for One always wants everything to himself.
Jesus Christ!
Da Shonen! Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
Did he blow up All for One Sweat? Okay, Bakugo might have the best work in the verse.
Like when truly realized and awakened, that is a pretty fucking crazy. It's very taxing on your body though, but still, it's
I am speechless.
Yeah. That's some real All for One. That's really All for One. Shit. Head ass. Ooh, wow. Ooh.
Oh my god, grabbed him right in the face!
Ah.
That's my face! Oh, his chest is bleeding.
My stitches.
Dude!
Barrage. Oh my god, VA. Damn.
I was like, I remember that voice. Who is this? Baka. Oh my god, and of course he's got the pretty girl on his hip.
That's hilarious. Ooh. Yeah.
Great explosion, murder god dynamite.
Indeed. But Horikoshi spoiled it, huh?
It's mine.
Ooh, you hear this remix? My origin. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh my god, just like Endeavor.
Damn.
Just like All Might. This is beautiful. Cinematically, emotionally.
You know, one thing I will say, I definitely would have wanted more Yoichi characterization in this series. I just want to care about him. I just never really could care too much about him.
You guys see the perspective? You see the perspective? It's kind of low, isn't it? Oh my god, he literally turns into the glowing baby. Bro.
He really went back to his origins, huh? To what we seen in the beginning.
No, but if he touches your blood? What a throwback.
Yeah. Imagine watching this out of context, so you knew nothing and you just watched this from here. I'm like, what's going on? This poor baby has to defend itself. Oh my.
Oh my god!
Hydrogen bomb! Bruh.
I was curious about that. I'll talk about that at the end. Or not, I guess. Fooled me.
Or not, yeah.
Stupid head ass. Oh my god, he turned back into a concept.
Yeah.
Oh, the fist upwards. Who's gonna catch him? Someone's gonna catch him.
I do like this. You got this. That was like, I remember reading the manga for this whole show. I was like, wow, that was perfect.
We are 4 episodes in and have not gotten a single conflict frame with Deku and Shigaraki.
Just tug of war and talking. That was great though. Like for All for One, that was very much needed. So thank you, Horikoshi, for doing what you did there. I know a lot, and we talk about this a lot. Like we talk about this with All for One. We talked about it with Muzan from Demon Slayer. I think this right here for All for One is very underrated. It told the story of literally what he was just innately since he was born. What he was, what he wanted. He did things because he was stronger, always stronger than everybody. His brother, everybody else. Killed people since he was a kid. Became this ruler, demon lord for however many years, 200 years, whatever. I'm ready, Bones. I'm ready. Let me see this preview.
I'll close my eyes. Not a great
So good
title for next episode. I do see that.
Great as fit.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I was emotionally affected by this episode, but just more shocked than anything else. Now, we had talked about in previous episodes, previous discussions that Vontae and I have had about All for One as a character, and you brought up Muzan, and I think that's an interesting point for people who have read the Demon Slayer manga, but have not yet, obviously, because they're not out, consumed all 3 of the final movies in the trilogy that will end the canon story of Demon Slayer. There were so many levels to this particular episode in terms of building up All for One as a character. Now, I said earlier for the nature versus nurture argument, can you really fault someone for growing up in an environment with no parental figures? Based on context clues, we can assume that either All for One and Yuichi's mom was abandoned by her partner that got her pregnant, or she might have even killed them, a la similar to kind of a Hawks and his parent situation, which again, I think I'm just thinking that because I saw the vestige that was his quirk inside of All for One before it got erased. And I'm trying to stay on track here mentally, but there were, and I'm not being very articulate either, so I apologize, but I'm going to try to keep this as one full cut. Normally I like to split up any pauses that we have in our commentary, but I think it's important for this one that you guys get my full thoughts as they try to come out of my mouth from my brain, because the way that this was introduced to the viewer, it reminds me a lot of Gin from Bleach, and how his whole character was dependent on one final reveal right before his death. So his reveal in that scenario, not to give you guys too many spoilers, but it changed everything we knew about who he was, what his motivations were, and then the passing of the torch onto someone else for the continuation of his dream. Now, in this scenario, very different, because All for One's dream, especially if Shigaraki dies, it's done. And even if Shigaraki does win the day, which I don't think that he will, given what I know about the end of the series, he's not going to be able to continue All for One's dream. Unless, and this is the kicker, the surprise twist in this, is he just wants to be next to his brother. Now, it is possessive. Obviously, that's not how you're supposed to treat your siblings. I should know because I have one. It's so cool to see how this archetype of a character that was put up to be only that up until this point in the story, it was almost comically funny how we saw All for One as the quintessential bad guy from the comic books and All Might as the quintessential hero from the comic books. But where I think Horikoshi really cooked in this scenario is he gave us a slow drop of characterization for All Might throughout the entirety of the series after we were introduced to him as this comically good superhero. Now, we get this at the very end of All for One's character, and you have to reevaluate, or at least I think you should reevaluate his whole character. I was questioning at the beginning, would I do the same? If I had his power and I was born with my younger brother, and before I even had coherent thought, I was just thinking about consuming and, intaking nutrients, intaking powers. He took his mother's quirk. I don't even think he wanted to do that. It happened. do you really fault him for being in line with what his nature was? Now, you can introduce morality at the end of it, and that's a separate conversation, of course. And I'm not trying to, whitewash or...
It's Aaron Yeager.
He is a victim of his own destiny. And that's a purposeful statement that I make because it was always meant to end up like this. Last final point. He was never going to live a life with his younger brother to where they were both immortal because of who Yoichi was as a person. So him defying him in One for All, I feel like there should be
added more to...
There should be narrative essays on All for One, All Might, Yoichi, Deku, this whole superhero and super villain motif that Horikoshi has going on. There could be essays written on this because it is so great and so necessary that we got the reveals that we did in this episode. But go ahead. My head is spinning. I don't know if I'm going to be able to comprehend even what you're saying on your end, but go ahead.
So something that I wanted to say was that there's actually a lot of parallels between All for One and Shigaraki in this episode, where literally we're stated if someone was there to help guide him, mentor him, be a parent or whatever, things could have been different. But I like that it takes it a step further where for Shigaraki, there was a tragic event that happened. He killed his family. Nobody helped him. All for One, since birth, his mom was in bad predicament, him and his brother in a bad predicament, to the point where she ends up dying, still feeding them as she's dying, giving them the food and nutrients. If anything, she was already probably dead right there in that scene. It is like Shigaraki's story, where it's just a step further to the reason why All for One is so bad in the way that he is because it happened since he was even conceived. And that's terrifying because, like what you were saying, there's different moments in his life where if things were different, if things went different with Yoichi, if the whole Quirk situation with One for All, if Yoichi not helping the successors for One for All as well, if that didn't happen, All for One wouldn't have gone the lengths of what he had been doing. Maybe at some point he probably would have, but not for the same reasons. Maybe, he could be bored or whatever can happen. But and then going back to his birth, obviously, there's different moments in his life early on that even the comic book, if Yoichi never showed him that, how would things have turned out? Maybe things could have been different. I don't know, right? And I think that's Horikoshi kind of given the idea that things probably would have been different. What if he never got influenced by comics and stuff like that? What if he just started using his power to to help or just to, fight for other people, whatever. It could have been anything different, but the point is that All for One is an interesting character because he has that. It's kind of like Doflamingo in One Piece, where it's on one hand, I see why he he wants his birthright back, right? But we know that morality wise, hell no. And then his brother also was a different, showed that other side similar to what these brothers are going through here. And I just think that this is something that this is a problem I feel like with Horikoshi that people have with My Hero, is that when Horikoshi he can cook all timely. He has some clear misses though, but stuff like this is to remind people yo, I know what the fuck I'm doing with my story. You can tell he's always planned to get to this point with All for One, based off of how this episode and the chapters were even constructed. So, I just appreciate that he gave that extra characterization for All for One, or to complete his character for us in this series. It didn't go into the end of the episode with Bakugo defeating him, right? And how that also, with his character and what he wants, being All Might, one of All Might's apprentices and all that. It was this perfect storybook. It just meshed so well together, and I hope that Shigaraki and Deku, they can keep on going crazy with that.
I want to continue on a point that you made, and to again showcase how well I think Horikoshi is doing with this part of the story as it relates to the themes that he's trying to convey. You said that All for One reminded you of Eren Yeager, and one of the best lines from that series, in my opinion, is that this is a devil of our own making. If Marley never invaded, never continued to throw all of the Eldians onto that island of Paradise that they did, then this devil likely never would have rose up, because they were in a kind of like a pseudo peace situation, I would call it, to where if you don't touch me, I won't touch you, because it was a pact of peace for King Race. But if Marley had never prodded the beast, then Eldia would have never came back and did what they did through the rumbling for Eren. Now, the teenage years of someone's lives are some of their most, not formidable, formable in terms of creating who you are as a person. So when Yoichi was reading those comic books as a young teenager, we saw All For One come in with what I assumed to be the stolen quirk of the glowing baby who had grown up to be a teenager. There was a line in that scene that said something along the lines of, I killed them all because society was saying, basically, society created this malice against the different, or the others, as they're called in some other forms of media. And because of that, All For One, it snowballed into him becoming, or him having the idea of becoming the world's greatest villain. Because he's like, I'm not going to let you push me around just because I'm different. Now, again, that's where it comes into nature versus nurture. Like, he did make some of these decisions of his own. But would he have ever gotten to that point if necessarily society wasn't shunning them, wasn't trying to kill them? You had that group of construction workers that were going out with pipes. They were going to kill someone that had a meta ability. So again, I'm going to have to take a look at this episode and rethink the entirety of the story up until now. It is that vital to what Horikoshi is trying to convey with the themes.
It's kind of like the nuance with like Lemillion, the what if he had one for all, and like what that could look like. Obviously, we know that Deku, like in the end result, it'll be better because he is the empty glass. He doesn't have a quirk. He doesn't have some volume of water in that cup. But like it just kind of reminds me of that because well, All For One, if things, like you said, if things were different, how different would he be? Like, would he be worse, better? What? It's one of those things where, just like with Eren, just like with Doflamingo, if things were different, would they still be the same people? If Doflamingo wasn't not to spoil people, I'll just use acronyms and stuff. If he wasn't a CD, for example, and he was just a pirate or somebody else, do you think Oda would make his character? I mean, I know it doesn't really make sense to ask it in this way, but I think you get my point. Would he still be the same regardless of like him being a CD or not? Eren Yeager, would he still be Eren Yeager regardless of whether he was on, let's say if he was a Marleyan, would he still be Eren? You know, like would he still innately have the same kind of personality and identity?
I get what you're asking.
See, like in a what if series.
My answer would be no, because who a person is directly contributes to the decisions that they make. We can get into the thick of it as we talk about psychology, we talk about morality, pretty much nature versus nurture really again. Great. But I think the reason not, and I think why this also contributes to how I feel about All For One in his scenario, is Toga, and how because of the fact that she had the quirk that she had this
that's why
urge to consume blood. I think because of the fact that true. All For One had All For One the quirk, it caused him to, maybe even subconsciously, of course, when he's a fetus or he's a young child, to
that's a
want
good point,
to
man.
Consume.
Because think about the rest of the league, like Shigaraki. Obviously, we know like that's the first person that that everybody dissected when it came to that, of how he would have been, regardless of with his quirk or not. Even like Dabi. If Endeavor never did that, would Dabi? Would he still be overly, trying to please his dad? Not to that extent, at least not like that. But like, who knows? It really it's really hard to tell. But I would say absolutely your environment and just outside factors, I would say, can sway what you are on that spectrum more than just whatever is innately or whatever. I think environmental and other people in general can change you more than you yourself. Because, I mean, you change because of experiences that you face every day. So, yeah, I agree with you with that. It kind of is just his quirk. And even for Yoichi, like, maybe the reason why Yoichi is the way that he is because his quirk is also, like, it's literally for people. It's selfless.
It's insane.
It's the opposite. So, yeah. So, this is a great discussion, man. This is a really good discussion. We haven't had one of these this long in a minute.
I think it's one of my favorites for My Hero because, again, especially with the last couple episodes, it's been a lot of the flashy animation. And I'll be honest, I like seeing that as much as the next guy, but having these kind of philosophical conversations as it relates to the story of these stories that we consume on the channel, it's great to have them because I don't often think about that. Like, would I be the same person if I had different colored hair, if I had different colored eyes, if I had a different skin color, if I was a different ethnicity. So my final point will be,
yeah, right.
we gotta wrap this up because this is great. But my final point will be, I really love the introduction of the quirk factors in this ethereal plane to where the souls of these people that have the quirks, their quirk factors directly relate to the motivations and ideology of the people that have them. So 2 examples I want to point out. One in this episode with Hawks, how he was being an ain't shit type of narrator, like, ha ha, all for one, you lost. And then also with Star and Stripe, to where she had a relentless type of attitude to where I am going to stop all for one. Now, it might not be all for one the person, but it'll be all for one the quirk. So she ate all those quirk factors, dissolved into nothingness, and she was doing that all because of All Might. Because Cassie, as the person who had the quirk, New Order, was able to imbue her thought process onto the quirk. And that's where I really love this introduction of quirk factors being like souls of these people. It's fantastic. Again, I'm kind of stuttering here at the end. I have so much more I want to talk about. This is 46-minute recording. Oh my God. Yeah, so I'll let you wrap it up here, but just one of the best episodes of the series, if not the best from a strictly story perspective.
Absolutely. This is perfect. And I can't wait for next week. We're going to start on another great stretch. So stay tuned, you guys. You guys know the drill, man. If you are new to the channel, subscribe to your boys. If you've been here, you know what to do. Like the video. And if you're new, like the video. Share the video if you want. Comment. Do what you got to do. But we got a lot of content, so stay tuned for all that stuff coming up very soon within the next few months, closing out the end of the year. But with that being said, man, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys on the next video or stream. And
peace.